Asumaki just resubscribed for 8 months.
Yo! Hello, Asumaki. Welcome. Thank you. 8 months already, man. It's been a long time. I can't believe that I started streaming basically 8 months ago, because I started streaming at the same time that drops event happened, and I got my affiliate immediately by the end of that week. So I have been basically streaming for the same time I have been affiliate. Damn. How you doing, Asumaki? Oh, I was writing Limbus info as you started streaming. Oh, hello, Bodaka. How you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday, guys. So that dawn I got is apparently very good, huh? That's good. Also, I got super lucky with the pulls. Like, those pulls I sent on the Discord, they were all the pulls I had left, and they all paid off. I'm gonna get some iced tea from the store. Oh, that sounds nice. Those were lucky, yes. Yeah. I got a Gregor dupe, so now my Gregor is up tie at level 4. I got that Faust, and I got that Don Quixote. So yeah, not complaining. Don Faust would have been insane, but yeah, Greg dupe is also good. Yeah, well, can't complain. I would have liked to get the new Faust just to have more variety. But hey, a dupe in a game where dupes are not that common, I'm happy. Hello Josh, how you doing? Spell all of your encephalin to get prizes from the stamina event. I'm doing that, yes. I'm spending all my stamina. Happy Saturday, Josh. Bye, Sherlock. What? You're going to eat out again? Man, you must be very popular, huh? Eating out every night. Girls must love you. Sorry. Work? No ending here. No ending. Hey, I will be your background noise while you work, okay? So at least you can hear my bad dirty jokes, some from time to time, and some from time to time, okay? We're gonna keep you company. Just stay strong, brother, stay strong. I hate double orders. Oh man. Understandable, that sounds like a lot of work. I remember when I worked at the gelato shop and I had to do the morning shifts and I had to unload the drugs, and we had like someone messed up the orders, for example, and they didn't order one thing that was out of stock, so it stockpiled with another thing that was out of stock, and we had double down unloading to do, and it was like 5:30 AM unloading trucks. Not fun. And I say someone because it was not me, because I never did the orders. So I could have not been the one messing up, just to be completely clear. Oh, okay, there is the lengthy post you were talking about, Bodoka. Blah blah blah. Oh, I see. This one is more like 2 orders of a different kind of noodles, 10 kilos each. From the shop. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have told you guys that I grew up in a farm and we would sell the stuff that we cultivated. We would only deal with vegetables. But we would sell to different like hotels and restaurants and stuff like that. And one thing that I always hated was like they would call, okay, yeah, we need like 2 kilograms of lettuce, which by the way, lettuce weighs nothing, so going out to pick 2 kilograms of lettuce, because we did not only just sell the lettuce, we would wash it and like pack it ready to serve. So it was quite a hassle. So it like go out, pick up 2 kilograms of lettuce, then they could call, oh yeah, sorry, we forgot that we also need like 3 kilograms of basil. Yeah, okay. And while you're working on just harvesting that, you also had like all the other orders. But it was always super annoying when a client would call to add the stuff to their order after the fact, because sometimes they would do it like early in the morning, right before we went out for delivery, and it was like, dude, like what do you want me to do? But you had to do it. Like, if oh sorry, like I know it may be inconvenient, but can you add like a 1 kilogram of tomato, because they assume that you have like the tomato on hand. Like it's like, no, we harvest fresh. That's what makes our product great. Like we harvest fresh. It's straight from the plant. Bleed teams in Limbus are probably easiest to make because Bleed teams in Limbus are probably easiest to make because to make actually feel like being about the archetype while still being effective, if that makes sense. Like last season there was a really strong team with Rupture, Poise, crits, but that just felt like a strong team detached from status effects. Oh, them assholes of purchasing managers, yeah. So it was always a hassle. But you know what? At least back then we were working for ourselves, and I think that when you work for a boss, it's worse. Like, I'm harvesting the stuff that we're gonna sell, but it's our harvest, it's our product. It doesn't feel as bad as just unloading a truck of gelato for someone that doesn't even like you. It's like, come on. Okay guys, let's start gaming, shall we? I think there is no better time than now to start gaming. So if I did this correctly, you should be able to see the game now. Did I do this correctly? I don't know, let me know. I assume I did, because I don't see any complaints about not being visible. Yeah, you can see the game. Yeah, okay. Oh la la, what are you doing? She's 14, dude. By the way, is Edgeworth on the screen? Like when I talk, do you see Edgeworth talking? Hey, there it is. It is there. Wee. Okay, then I'm gonna be on character for the stream. I'm gonna be Edgeworth, talking to you directly. Yeah, Edgeworth is on screen, but he jitters more than Phoenix. Ha. can I fix that? Ooh. Maybe... Oh yeah, he has like that shaking. Oh wait, now he's not shaking anymore. Is that better? Yeah, I'm sorry. The open mouth state had a jitter effect for some reason. Yep, better, perfect.
Oh, sorry, mister. I'm a little busy right now.
Doing what?
Well, I'm looking for something. Uncle Bud told me that that's what I'm going to do.
Also, I think you should edit the head. What's wrong with the head? Oh, come on. What's wrong with the head? It's a little jaggy. That? It's because it's a little jagged. It looks fine. Is it? No, I mean it to make it your own thing. Oh yeah, but that's gonna be I'm working on that. I'm working on that, but I'm gonna need a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. I prepare something very special. Maybe sensei with monocle. Oh, that could be an idea. But yeah, I prepare something very special for Silkson next Friday. It's gonna be really fun. I hope. I put a lot of effort on it, so it's gonna be good. I hope.
Let's go. I don't want to interfere with the girl. Lest Detective Bad get angry.
Yeah, agreed. Wee. Okay, so wait. We got... Did we get the new evidence? The last thing we did was get the perfume. Wait, did we... Oh, evidence transfer, okay.
It looks like your debut trial fizzled out thanks to it being declared a mistrial. Too bad.
Huh?
But now...
Wait. Now that I think of it, I have Edgeworth talking on the screen, but it's getting in the way of the text, and he's also on the screen right now. Should we just get rid of Edgeworth for now? He's getting on the way. Maybe move it a little bit. Let me... Maybe put him here. Or there is going to be an... Maybe move him to the right corner. Yeah, I thought of this, yeah. I think that's gonna be fine. I know the emotes are behind him, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Flip him. I'm not gonna flip him. Okay, that was oh, that was a joke. Now you know they say flip him when you show the middle finger too. That's what they call flipping. That's flip off. Yeah, but also like oh, like oh, just flipping. I think it's also like. Well, it was a bad joke. That was the point. Nobody's. Yeah. Well, it was a bad joke. Okay.
But now you can take your time reading the evidence they transferred to you. Goodbye.
This is like back when you thought that saying working with your ass out. No, working your ass out, not with your ass out. It was ass off, but I said ass out. But remember when you made Kipao Marina analysis? What? I don't remember that. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, you thought it was ass out and posted Marina bot. When I said I've been working my ass out and I used that Chibi Marina, I don't remember. I didn't say with your ass out. I know I said working my ass out, but the correct way to say it is ass off. But I was confused and I said ass out. Oh, maybe it was for one of those very long videos in the past. Maybe it was something like that. But yeah, no, I remember being confused and saying ass out instead of ass off. But as I say, my memory is pretty bad, so I don't remember that much either. It's much too early to shelve the pieces that were given to me.
Oh, how do you figure?
2 of the pieces were used to kill Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. Naturally, having all of them makes it easier for me to examine them more thoroughly.
Yes, of course.
Don't tell me you forgot about that fact, didn't you, Francisca?
I don't have to answer the characteristically foolish question of a foolish fool.
Man, for a 14-year-old, this kid is so cocky. Well, she's an edgy teen. She's a very edgy teen. I think that's a very fair way to put it.
Now, hurry up and check the evidence already.
Trust me, Will, in due time.
Okay, so what is the evidence? Okay, the knife. The gun. The pen? Oh, maybe the pen. Is there something? Oh. Wait. It seems that Mr. Faraday was in the habit of using a very nice fountain pens. You can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. Really?
Really? Because my papa uses fountain pens that are much nicer than these. The way he signs his name with those pens make his signature look like pure art.
I'm surprised Mr. Von Karma has to sign anything. I thought he'd have a crest stamp made. This looks like a quality Neve.
Well, my ballpoint pen is much easier to write with.
Jeez. Francisca, sometimes you can just shut up, you know? You don't need to reply to everything.
You are obviously too young to appreciate the finer points of a fountain pen.
Don't treat me like a child.
Well, you are. I couldn't have to if you would only grow up.
Or shut up, that's also a good suggestion. If she would only shut up. Well, that's that. I'm guessing this is fluff. That is why I'm not reading it out loud, okay? In a way, even if Francisca hates to admit it, but Edgeworth is very much her older brother.
Oh! I can see down the courthouse. I can see down into the courthouse courtyard from here.
What is that mess supposed to be? It's like an optical illusion.
I believe it's supposed to be postmodern in design.
More like thoughtlessness in design.
I can disagree there. You're in the way, boy. Move. You look terribly busy. However, I was wondering, what are you busy with? Just looking for something. It got nothing to do with you.
What is with your terrible attitude?
I guess I'm out of luck. I really should get back to what I need to do anyway. This television is the same model as the one in the defendant lobby number 2.
Looks like the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies.
Yeah. The two rooms are basically the same, huh?
Interesting. If they're basically the same,
What an incredibly strong scented herbal tea. I fear that more than being relaxed, this scent may make one a bit heady instead.
what does heady means? Like start to snooze off? Like when you start like trying to resist and your head keeps going up and down? That is heady?
I can still smell that perfume with the window being left open to air out the room.
Are you sure they just didn't forget to close the window, Miles?
Yeah, well, I hadn't thought of that.
You still got a long way if you think you can best me, Miles Edgeworth.
That expensive painting is ill-suited to be hanging on the wall of this room.
I wonder if a guard detail should be placed on it.
Why would you say that?
A desperate low-paid detective might make off with it someday. You never know.
She may be thinking about hiring a guard, but it's obvious she isn't factoring that guard's salary whatsoever.
What the hell?
I wonder if the killer used these plastic bags in a flash of inspiration.
With that detective, I somehow doubt that he's that quick-witted.
So you're saying this crime was thought out in advance?
With that detective, I somehow doubt he's capable of making such complex plan.
Francisca, when will you learn to take responsibility for your statements?
After she gets sued by it. Wait, is that an Easter egg?
I don't believe it. This judge has it all wrong. The star of the courtroom isn't him, it's me, Francisca von Karma.
As long as she doesn't turn evil, I suppose I can live with just another megalomaniac. What's the matter, officer?
I've been standing here forever. Okay, we saw this one. And that's the courtroom. Oh, I had to take possession of this, lol.
So, this is the evidence related to today's Pinocchian Embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yeah, finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself, and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder too.
And why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about.
Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something.
And then you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
I see, someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. von Karma.
It's also real to see the knife up close.
So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope, and what is this? What is this organizer doing here?
Oh, that's right, I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bat requested it to be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation.
Detective Bat said that.
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, never look a gift gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it, though. Flip through it too. I want blah blah blah. Yeah, the nook and cranny thing. Okay, the gun. This gun was originally used to kill the Pinocchian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then... Wait.
And then this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence.
The knife.
It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
And it's never crossed your mind that you used your riding crop for the wrong purpose?
One thing that I don't understand, right? They always jump to fingerprints. Why they don't take the fingerprints of the knife and the gun?
Mr. Faraday's organizer, it appears he was in the habit of using it. It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here. I have collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in the case. The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu.
1 second. I missed the Edgeworth thing. What?
And it would appear that he had proof that Rell was not Yatagarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up, and he apparently had a very definitive piece of evidence.
It's been a long battle. I hope that this...
It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have made about being the real Yatagarasu.
And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later.
Mr. Faraday organizer. Faraday wrote his strategy for winning here.
Look, there is a picture stuck between these pages. These pages here.
It appears to be a key. Oh, wait a second. Doesn't that key look like it fits inside the knife? Yeah. If you look at the handle end of the knife, right on the tip of it, you can see a golden slot. I'm betting that the key fits in there.
And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Yatagarasu's key?
Detective Bat said something earlier. That's different. What's different about this time was that the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Pinocchian embassy, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu could always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a selected few others knew about.
Huh.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe.
As a prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected.
Now you can see the knife more clearly. And you can see the key slot at the end of the knife. Yatagarasu? No way, Vodoka. I should have known you were the Yatagarasu.
A photo of the key the Yatagarasu sent. It has a rather unusual shape.
But the game got my name wrong. It's actually Yatagarasu. Where are... There.
Yatagarasu's key data jotted down in my organizer. That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Pinocchian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, where did the knife that was used in the murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell.
Are you stupid? They do metal detector testing. Do you really believe he could slip up with a knife?
That's the only logical conclusion, right?
We need a slap sound, like up.
No, it's not. That easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse door is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up in this courthouse?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you about what is called a bag smuggling technique. Just so you know. You don't wanna know. I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca. It was behind your ear.
And he pulls a magic trick. Could you imagine?
What? Then what is it?
It's a secret.
As he tries to buy time.
One piece of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And if it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse,
Let me save! Uh... I mean, it has to be the key. It's the only thing that makes sense. Because as I said, the key just fits perfectly into the knife. It just does. It has to be the key. I say it's the key because inside the key, I mean inside the knife was the key. So it has to be this.
this Yatagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
Because you're stupid. You just need to look a little bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Don't the color and ornament of the key handle remind you of something?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handle. Furthermore, even Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu key. The only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say...
It appears that you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same.
That's impossible!
Even if that's what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife a little more in detail.
And there it is. I knew it.
I can't believe it turned into a key. To think that there was such a trick in this thing.
So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now. Yatagarasu key data updated in my organizer.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It is possible that he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Among law enforcement, this key was a top secret. We are looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday.
Interesting. So... Doesn't this incriminate Bad more?
Meaning that the only person it could be. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yetagarasu.
Then maybe Mr. Roll was really the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario?
No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Butt said earlier, but when we questioned Rell about what was sent along with the knife with the white card, Rell had no idea what it was.
I see. Alright then. I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu.
It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case.
Good one, Edgeworth, good one.
I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it.
You're 14.
I suppose I should explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly, and in its entirety, if you please.
On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy.
Not gonna lie, Francisca has always been a little bit of a pesky girl, but little Francisca for some reason annoys me. Maybe because it feels a little ridiculous that a 14-year-old is walking around playing detective in a murder case. Maybe that's what makes it a little annoying. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Macrell was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man, that's what he was.
Man died from shock, huh? I guess that would be pretty surprising. Yeah, as if being shot in the heart would have been enough. He was so shocked that he died. The shock killed him before the bullet, Bodoka. Can you believe that? The shock actually killed him before the bullet did. A bullet to the heart, nonetheless.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Roll was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton
Than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice security camera.
The Pinocchian embassy security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in that area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yeah, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that is missing is the surveillance video that was played. That was played in court.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rell committed the murder. Where could it have been gone indeed?
Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yeah, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
Oh, what? No, I dare not to leak my duties. What do you take me for?
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
Ha! But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene.
There's something wrong in here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answer I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2.
September 10, 6 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Isn't that Mr. Gulf Boy? The Chinese dude with the hot Chinese assistant? Wait. That's weird. Why is it not working? Am I doing something wrong here? Huh. Just to... Yeah, that one works. But why this one doesn't? Huh. Do she works? No. Does this one work? Yeah, that one works. Huh. Well, I had some... What are you trying to do? So I had downloaded some animated GIFs of the different characters of the game, but for some reason, none of the gifs of Investigations characters work at all. So I was trying to put his secretary on the stream, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't work. Yeah, they are GIF. Like, in my computer I can see them, but when I put them on the screen they don't. No, they are .gif. It's weird, because even when I send them on Discord, they just don't work. There may be something... What? And now they are not working at all, not even in my PC. What is going on with this? And they come all from the same site. So it should be working. Yeah, it's type GIF file. Zip them up and send them to me. Okay. I'm gonna send them to you through DM. Is that okay, Bodoka? They are too heavy. They are too heavy to send. How? It's 100 megs. Let's remove this for now. What? Okay, you know. Okay, maybe this works. Okay, I send you the Sheena ones because the others are too heavy. See if you can get those working. September 10, 6 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2, and thank you very much for your help, Bodoka. That's Detective Bud. But who is he with? I never seen an officer. I never seen that officer before. So, did you find it? No, not yet. And I've looked everywhere. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood. I'll continue with the search. So you are the one running this show? Prosecutors like you shouldn't be even allowed at crime scenes. How dare you? Just who do you think you are? What was that all about, and who was that man just now? Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Does he even know that we are standing right here behind him? I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? It looks like you
It looks like you were paying attention after all.
Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head. Ah, so that mirror isn't just for Bunny's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out. Or what... on who or what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Sengfa to study his Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study the different philosophies of detainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy is more useful than Gumshoe, even if he's rude.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree, however I can think of one young lady that the statement also applies to.
These are APGN files labeled as gifts. So they are animated PNGs. But when I go to properties, it says GIF. That's so weird. Can you fix them or... Yes, since they have alpha channel. Oh. I see, that's interesting.
Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around in the lobby number 1 as well.
Who are you to call her a little girl? You're a little girl too!
Like I said before, it got nothing to do with the two of you.
Are you winning, Uncle?
I'm winning. I'm winning indeed. I hardly doubt that it has nothing to do with me.
I can give it a try later? Thank you.
Fine. If this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity. Come to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him.
Okay. So we are going to interrogate Mr. Bad. I said I'm suspicious of him, but it seems that our suspicions are going to be confirmed.
Earlier you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You're quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. And that's what we detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I ask about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Boy? You'll see I will draw my own answer from you one way or another.
Would you kill it? Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think? Please, we are asking for you just a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid, or I'm gonna kill you.
Okay, let's save, because saving is healthy. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm so effing sleepy.
I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigation you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about, but aren't you just supposed to know everything?
He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. It may prove that the key to getting some answers. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bud.
So, I guess I'll show him the knife and then do the flip.
Detective Bud, I'm gonna show you something impressive. I'm gonna do a backflip while holding a knife. Do you know of the existence of this item in this photograph? Huh? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu key are one and the same? What? That's impossible!
It looks like he didn't know after all.
This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Impossibles! Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu key to prove that Mr. Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife. Yeah, I have to admit it, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in the law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for. Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect the key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bud, I have bad news for you. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab a piece of chocolate because I keep yawning and I'm probably just low on sugar. I'll be right back, like literally 5 seconds. I got this Lindt chocolate that reminds me of the Carl... that Finnish chocolate, Carl something. It's not as good as the Finnish one, but it's close enough. Carl Facers Blue, yeah, those. Man, I love those. Time of the Murder. If I get the job at the Finnish embassy, I remember that once I went to a Finnish church and they had the Carl Facers flu. That's where I tried them. And I hope that if I get the job at the Finnish embassy, they will have Carl Facers. They're expensive to import.
Detective Bad, I ask you that you please testify one more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case.
Detective Bad movements. Not gonna lie, if Detective Bad is the criminal, I will be so sad because he's such a giga chat. Like, look at the chin. He's ripped AF. Like, it would be such a shame to get Bad in jail.
I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. So we had to stop doing the plap plap and get to it. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out. But not before pulling my pants up into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2.
It sounds like the exact same story he told us before.
Indeed, however, I feel like that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can.
Ooh. Detective Bat's movement. Okay. I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. Okay. Let's press on everything.
Hold it!
Why did Miss You choose lobby number 1? Because it was the one with the best sound insulation. Answer me! Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to do with me, talk to me about. And we walked into the lobby number 1 together, that's all. So his answer remains the same as before, I see. We're talking about some trivial things.
Hold it!
I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu. Trivial stuff, it was nothing important, like the name of the baby. That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then.
He gives up so easily.
I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene.
Okay. I feel like this is going to be one tension point.
Hold
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? Well, Miss Yu was looking especially good today. What? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. If the gunshot Detective Bad here was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I asked that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure, whatever. I didn't hear any...
Wait, actually there was a sound that he could have heard. What about the balloon? Let's try the balloon.
No, Mr. Detective Bad. Does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, so you know about that girl's balloon?
Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. As you may have already summarized, this piece did indeed come from Kai's balloon. So what about that balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook for a gunshot. Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene.
Which meant that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway. When you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. If you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So... Don't give me a so.
We just proved that there is a flaw in your testimony.
Who's we? You did nothing.
The crackling of the throat is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem to be so rocked? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick, just like Yuka's thighs. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then you mean, yeah, even if we were doing the plap plap, you couldn't have heard shit. And that's the same for the balloon. We couldn't hear shit. Since I was shut up inside the lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound.
No!
I knew that he was going to say.
Then that means that the Scruffy's face testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, of course he wouldn't have heard any signs of a struggle.
That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding the flaws in his logic. Not the other way around.
The other way around. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet Detective Hamshu claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad. If that's the case, how did you exactly hear the gunshot? What do you mean how? I just did. It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? If the rooms are soundproof, as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean, but do you realize a gun is a lot louder than a balloon? I guess I'm more out of it from Mr. Faraday's murder than I had thought. Which means what exactly, Miles? Miles? It's so weird that she didn't call us Miles Edgeworth and she just said Miles. Ooh, that's endearing.
In the end, what does this all boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard the gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again.
Wait a second. I think I cracked it. Or at least part of it. Both rooms have a VHS player. What if we check inside the VHS player? Because it was previously said that the sound of the gun shooting was crispy clear in the recordings. And the tape is missing. So what if the tape was played on both TVs at the same time? And what they heard was the gunshot from the video.
It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh?
The state of the crime scene. Wait, can it be? Is it ultra strong perfume you wears? She spilled some of it.
And way too noisy, pal.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
So here is my theory. The window in lobby number 2 was open. The video is in lobby number 2. The window on lobby number 1 is open. So the video plays, the gunshot sounds, you can hear it in both rooms. Because Gumshoe said that the TV was too loud. So it was you is the killer. I knew it. You is the killer. She spilled the perfume so they could open the window to get the smell out. she killed them before going into lobby number 1 to do the plap plap, but she did to have an alibi. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through the barred window, and yet the fragments of perfume managed to escape from the defendant's lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows. Now then, what else besides a smell can go both in and out of an open bar window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the window were open, the gig would be up. And since the window in both defendants' lobby, number 1 and 2, are halfway open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Rel killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared at that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence is created for me is the gunshot sound that no one else should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what have you been thinking about?
When will you shut up?
Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again.
It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe we should examine the television and see if they have any adult channels.
The TV?
Well, you kids have fun, go ahead and examine whatever you like. But if you're gonna look at the adult channels, I have to take the kid away. I won't rest until the blah blah blah. Okay. It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape?
I suppose, but...
Detective Bud, would it be alright if with you I verified the contents of this video? It may be dirty, so let's get the girl out. Sure, knock yourself out. Alright then, let's rewind and see what we have here.
No, Mr. Prosecutor. I'm innocent, you see. I just got stuck.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be about the 30 minutes mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. This should be about right then. Let's see.
This is footage of Mr. Rell shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence. The surveillance video. The missing piece of evidence. The surveillance video was here all along.
Surveillance video, data jotted to my organizer.
These sounds, what's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
Do you think that you have figured it out? Do you think you have it all figured out then? Okay.
Yes, all I have to do now is show how the gunshot Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Fine, in that case, show me what you deduce.
Now, to show what the gunshot Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
The window.
Just with the spilled perfume in lobby number 1. If the window were open, that piece of evidence should also dissipate out. Now to show what the gunshot Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard was.
And through. Oh, okay. First, what was? The videotape.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Yep. To this one.
Eureka!
Boom.
If the door and window were the crime scene, namely this room that we are in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the killer, the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, they're all guilty asses. All of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the window in lobby number 1 and 2 and the hallway were open. So naturally people in those locations could hear it.
But why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard of, I suppose.
Correct, and that's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. Because...
But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
You're too young for that. Satisfaction will come later. Very well. Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate the perception of a certain fact. And that...
And what is what? When the crime took place, I think the crime was committed like a lot earlier than that. Like probably right at the beginning of the... It has to have been. It must have been before Gamshu arrived to do gym surveillance. Why did I say gym surveillance? I'm thinking about Pokemon. Oh my god, I have like 2 neurons, but... Yeah, it's when the crime took place. No, wait. Yeah, when?
The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to...
Wow. So that's why the tape was left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, before Detective Gamshu was on guard duty.
That is what I was trying to say. Like, the killing must have happened before Gamshu arrived to the scene.
It must...
Okay.
Someone who has no ability for that time period. And planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, what is it?
Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something.
It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Tell her that I'll be right there.
I'll come along.
I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth.
Oh, we're getting to the ending.
September 10, 6:15 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Oh, I must be getting sick, guys. I think I'm also giga sleepy because I have been going to bed super late. My mom had to get dental surgery done, and because it's really hot, I'm staying up late so she can enjoy the air conditioner until she's like completely asleep. But man, I've been going to bed super late, and I've been feeling a little under the weather, so that's maybe why I'm super sleepy today. Maybe time to end the stream early. I'm considering it. But I think we are about to end the case. We should be really close. So I'll keep going. If we end the case, I just end the stream, and otherwise, well, we got to the end. But I'm even struggling to read the dialogue because my eyes are getting closed from time to time. Okay, you know what? The best way to keep me awake, give me some bad jokes in the chat, guys. You can help me. September 10, 6:15, District Courtroom number 3. Also, I wanted to ask you guys, is it worth doing one more Pokemon episode, or should we just start with Silk Song on Wednesday? I wouldn't mind starting Silk Song on Wednesday. I'm a little done with Pokemon, to be completely honest. But if you wanna see one more stream of Pokemon, I'm willing to do it.
Guy, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for has already... Guy, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation.
I'd be fine with starting on... You wanna play Silk Song that bad, huh? I'd be fine starting it on Wednesday. Yeah, like... I really want to start Silk Song. I really want to. I really want to play a game again that is more action-packed. The other day, I don't know why, it appeared in my recommended. It's very rare that my own videos appear in my recommended, but the stream in which I defeated the last boss of Hollow Knight, that stream appeared in my recommended for some reason, and I watched my final fight against it. Man, to think that I did that with my hands in the state they were at the time, it was pretty sick. I played it really well. And the other fight that I remember that was really cool was when I was fighting that spider looking thing that I said, okay guys, do you mind if I ignore you for a minute to lock in? And then you guys said go ahead, and I locked in and I defeated it in that attempt, and it was so sick. I felt like such a gamer then. I miss having those moments.
Okay, you got it.
Detective Bug, haven't we already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, just any little task will do.
Silson has a lot of opportunities for maximum gaming. Nice.
Oh, so you're more sympathetic than I thought.
The fact that I hate you doesn't mean that I'm a bad guy. You're the bastard daughter of a bastard prosecutor.
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
I've been also waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The only thing laying will be you and me. What? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gamshe under arrest? I think we've more than solved the case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether you and whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see. We even have a viewer in the gallery. And why Mr. Bud is here? A viewer? In the gallery? We have Viewers in Twitch and YouTube, not in the gallery. I'm hardly just a bystander.
Francisca breaking the fourth wall, guys.
I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all that you have?
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion on this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of a court in this case, don't you think?
Absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you proper testimony.
If my logic is correct, then I already won. All I have to do now is to prove by showing who the real killer is.
Let me save. Let me save. Yeah. You know what? That little chat actually helped me. I have not yawned in 5 minutes. By the way, Bodoka, you played through Silksong, correct? So, the Bodoka GPS system will be active in case I'm feeling lost? Yeah, nice. Is it harder than Hollow Knight or nah? I heard it's harder, but I don't know. I have not even seen a video. I have avoided any Silksong related content to just be as blind as I can into it.
Everyone senses the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Oh, interesting. It's easier than the final Pantheons. Oh.
Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have already thoroughly investigated, right? Also, I also confirmed there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion that Detective Gumshoe is the killer.
No, you are the killer. You went to lobby number 1 to have an alibi.
Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
But of course, get ready, because you will be begging for water after this. There is no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve.
Okay, so that is a key to press. Press on everything she has. Press and press again. Hold it!
The suspect, but I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven.
Wait, I'm just making sure of one thing, guys. Okay. Okay. Sorry guys, I wanted to check something in the OBS. Because I didn't want to leak the surprise I have for you for the Silksong stream. So I have to be careful because I don't want to press the hotkey that I have to activate it by mistake.
The suspect. But I thought that Detective Ganshu's alibi has already been proven.
Are you joking, Edgeworth?
I assure you, this is no joke.
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll.
It's a get good button on demand, right? Oh yeah. Something like that. Something like that. It's gonna get good. And I'm sure you guys will like my little surprise. And if you don't, well, I tried my best.
Yes, that's correct.
But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off. And the problem is there is no one else who can corroborate that he did since what he did since the snacking.
I see she's done her research as well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump cards she's withholding.
Okay.
Hold it!
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
The scrunched eyebrows and lines in your forehead are back. Anyway, if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gamshu was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect.
But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through the window into the garden?
No. That's the first place everyone looks, silly. The police are in a bunch of lazy bums that look into every possibility, you know? Isn't that right, Mr. Bad?
Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they did really check everything that could be relevant to the case.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
And why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. Just common sense. Miles Edgeworth suggests you use a bit more of it in the future. Which leaves us with the unshakable conclusion that Detective Gamshu is the killer.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many things, too many unanswered questions. For example, who was that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
But you're the only one still wondering that? Detective Gamshu probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to ride with. Even if you know something, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they ride with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. Okay, that is the confession, she's the killer, guys.
I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, Miss You, bend over.
What?
I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisca or myself speaking with you about the subject.
Ah, but there were witnesses. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As for little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, so I heard.
I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard, or a bailiff, or anyone else.
Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss Yu, why you haven't been over yet? What about everyone's alibi before Detective Gamshu was assigned to guard duty?
What about them?
Have you looked into what people were doing before that time span?
Pfft, what kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into the lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot, to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived at the scene, as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gamshu.
Yeah, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gamshu is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off? What then?
Huh?
That gunshot was a trap.
Wait.
That gunshot was a trap to manipulate our perception of when the crime took place.
Objection. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain? How could it have been fabricated? Well, that's easy.
Take that!
That tape.
Yeah, it is exactly what you think it is. The tape of you and Mr. Bad doing the plap plap. This is a surveillance tape of Mr. Rell and the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up.
You can honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot from in the video.
Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murder occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot.
Huh?
That's the only thing I can think of too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television volume all the way up, and left the videotape to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes from the gunshot to sound to come on. And since we know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gamshu.
Objection!
Objection. Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and little Miss von Karma, you already know that much from the very beginning, right?
Of course we knew. Didn't we, Miles?
Yes, of course. we know about the soundproof quality of these courthouse rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit that we had no idea until only a little while ago.
That's right. If the rooms are soundproof, then you should not have been able to hear it.
But what if you planted the evidence? What if you planted the video? Then you spilled your perfume to open the window. And then, bam, you did the plap plap with bad.
And yet, we heard the gunshot as clear as day.
And
that's the end of the story.
but it's not. How should I explain that she was able to hear the gunshot from a soundproof room?
Well, the window was open.
There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and 2. And it's in despite that the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed. A window was open in each.
Huh?
Now we know that the window in the lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. And however, the window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
Objection!
What is she laughing at? It's probably just a coincidence that they were both open at the time.
Objection!
It's not a mere coincidence, I assure you. Because it was you who opened the windows.
Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer to that is a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered the action, that person is the real guilty party, that is Callisto Jew. The real killer in this double murder case is none other than you, Miss Jew.
Oh,
That's the pun on her name.
Take that!
Miss Callisto Jew. I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday, Mr. Rell. Bam!
What? You indict me? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer?
Oh, you little naive child. You little summer child.
I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she's the only one who would have done it. Well, Miss Jew, do you still feel like laughing now?
Haha. Of course I do, Edgeworth.
My argument must not be tight enough yet.
Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? Okay, Miss Jew rebuttal. You argue that the window was open, however, do you have proof it was I who did that? Yeah, I do. Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Yes, I do. Frankly, I'm shocked that you're going around accusing people of murder like this. How about you with Gumshoe? Especially with logic that is full of holes as yours.
Oh, but I only see one hole full.
Wait, no, that sounds so wrong. That sounds super wrong. I retract that statement. I retract that last statement.
This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down, even for a second, or the truth will blow away. Now it's time to put the patented phone karma perfect proof to test.
Okay. I'm gonna save because I'm gonna present on the first statement. we're gonna present the perfume bottle right here and there.
Objection!
Ha! I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu?
Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I recommend for boys, you know.
What? This isn't mine?
That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see.
Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know that at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad.
And you are so easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume?
While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad.
Oh, I know. Well, you see, the table was shaking violently for some reason I'm not gonna disclose. So of course it had spilled.
Also, you also knew that if spilled, he would naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Objection! Come on now, I've already told you. That's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window, in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know. So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection!
Timing of when you are going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people are made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean she was plap-plapping with me just for alibi? Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gamshu into the hallway. Is that correct?
Huh.
All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu.
Ooh.
Gah.
You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spill a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday.
Would you care to testify as to why?
Huh. Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this at least the last testimony and wrap this up. And wrap this absurd case once and for all. Okay, so now I have to get her for good. I have to get her good. Why couldn't be me? Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Karma. In any case, it simply could have not been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife was. I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, her testimony is flawless.
Yeah, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking information, I'll draw it out of her.
Why could it be me? I think this should be the end, right? Does anyone know how long we have to end this? Because we are also nearing close to the 2 hours limit. Why could it be me? Accusing some. Okay, I'm gonna be pressing a lot here. I have a hunch that everything will come out on the last statement, but I'm gonna be pressing here.
Hold it!
I think I've already explained the significance of that earlier.
You only confirm that I spilled some perfume. But that's all. That you could accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character.
Do as you like, but as for me, I believe.
You believe?
I believe that you are the true culprit in this case.
My, you're enthusiastic. Of course I should have guessed. But I suppose for you... Okay.
Hold it!
I formally requested the deceased in your attack against my mentor.
Yes, or we'll sue you for defamation. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Well, maybe more like spreading gossip. Although, your adamant denials, shall we say just adding fuel to the fire?
How dare you?
Says such a thing.
Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get to you.
Why did you have to ruin my fun? Shall we continue?
Hold it!
Why is that? And why exactly could you not have killed him?
I was about to testify to that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth.
I'm not into you either. Your preference has no bearing into what is at hand.
Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we?
Objection!
Miss Deal, you will desist of this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. He's going to marry me when I'm an adult. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy.
Sorry, Miss Yu, please continue with your testimony.
Sure. As I was saying, I could have possibly killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I didn't know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known of the existence of the knife. Sorry, Miss Yu, but maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag.
Miles, what do you think you're doing?
I'm drawing the truth out of her. Just watch and learn, kid. That's what I'm doing.
Huh? But I don't recall the knife being presented at the trial earlier today.
Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had just to use.
So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key that Yatagarasu sent. Unless a key can magically turn into knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come on now, be honest.
I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony.
Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can kill anyone with a simple key. Okay. I think, boys, we got her, but you're gonna have to wait for next week to see the conclusion of this epic trial. Thankfully, it was a complex key. Yeah. You know what? That is very, very true. It was a complex key. But guys, I'm about to fall asleep sitting, and it's time to end the stream anyways. So, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And I see you all to continue playing Metal Gear Solid 2 tomorrow. And this Wednesday will be the beginning of our Silk Song adventure. With that said, thanks everyone for watching. Have a good rest of your day or night, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.